Oh, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And yeah, before we dive in, I know this bald man avatar is kind of creepy, but don't worry, you'll get used to it. Today, we've got a pretty interesting topic to go through, because the big question everyone's asking right now is this. What happens to Project Slayers 1 when Project Slayers 2 finally drops? Are they going to delete the old game completely, or will it just be left behind to rot while all the attention shifts over to the sequel? And trust me, that's not the only thing we need to talk about. Later in this video, I'll also give you some solid advice on what you should and shouldn't do before the update goes live. Things that will save you time, Robux, and honestly, a lot of frustration. So don't skip ahead, because if you do, you'll probably end up grinding for stuff that won't even matter. All right, so let's start with the release window. From everything we've seen, Project Slayers 2 is expected to arrive around early October. The devs have been super active behind the scenes, visiting the game regularly, making updates, and doing what looks like final polishing. That usually means one thing: they're tying up loose ends and optimizing before launch. Now, usually when a Roblox game is this close to release, a trailer drops a week or two beforehand to hype everyone up. So if they're aiming for mid to late October, then logically we should see a trailer by late September or at least the start of October. But here's the catch. Project Slayers 1 never had a trailer. It just got dropped one day with a devlog posted on YouTube. So it's very possible they'll do the same thing again. That's why I wouldn't get too comfortable waiting for a big cinematic reveal. Still, trailers are the norm these days, so I'd say the chances are higher that we'll see one this time. Now let's talk timing, because this part is actually really smart. Why October? Simple. The Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie just released, and the hype for that is still massive. Releasing Project Slayers 2 while that hype is fresh is the best way to keep the momentum going. And while the devs haven't officially confirmed October, let's be real, it's the most likely window we'll see the game. But that leads into another question people keep asking me. Will Project Slayers 2 be paid access at first or free? My take? It's going to be free. Paid access doesn't make much sense here. And right when it drops, I expect they'll roll out a bunch of codes. Clan spins, free rewards, you know the drill. Okay, now let's circle back to the big question from the start. What's gonna happen to Project Slayers 1? Here's my opinion. They're not going to delete it. Instead, they'll just shift the moderators and staff over to Project Slayers 2 and let Part 1 sit there abandoned. And honestly, that's the smarter play. Because let's be real, once the new game drops, nobody is going to touch the old one anyway. The player base will naturally move on, and the old version will just become history. But before the new game arrives, there are a few things you need to keep in mind. This is where I want to give you guys some advice, because I've already seen people wasting Robux and time on stuff that won't matter. First of all, don't buy game passes in Project Slayers 1 right now. Think about it. Why would you drop money on a game that's about to get left behind? It's like buying a battle pass the day before the season ends. Completely pointless. Second, stop grinding for tier 3 items and armor sets. I know a lot of you are still putting in crazy hours, but honestly, none of that progress will carry over. All you're doing is wasting time when you could just chill and wait for the sequel. And speaking of game passes, let's clear up this rumor. A lot of players think their old game passes will transfer to Project Slayers 2. But let's be real, that's probably not happening. Why would the devs copy and paste old passes into a brand new game? It makes way more sense for them to rework things, add new features, and even make fresh passes that better fit the sequel.
We've already seen major improvements to character customization, and in a Demon Slayer game, that's a huge selling point. So it's safe to say the monetization side will also get revamped. Now let's move on to maps, because this is one of the biggest changes coming in Project Slayers 2. Both Map 1 and Map 2 are being fully reworked, and on top of that, we'll finally be stepping into the entertainment district, which, let's be honest, is one of the most iconic locations in Demon Slayer. But here's my personal take. I don't think all of the maps will be ready at launch. My guess? The third map will be locked for a few weeks and then reopen once it's polished. That's just speculation though, don't take it as fact. Now let's shift gears for a second, because I need to give you all a big warning about clans. Look, I get it. Joining clans, making guilds, building little communities, it all sounds fun. But in reality, 9 times out of 10, it ends badly. I've seen players get doxxed. I've seen accounts get stolen. I've seen whole clans get banned because 2 or 3 members were caught exploiting. And guess what? The mods don't care who's innocent. They just wipe out the entire group. It's harsh, but that's how it goes. So my advice? Don't bother. You're better off playing solo or with a small group of friends you actually trust. For those of you who are still grinding in Project Slayers 1 right now, listen, you should have quit a while ago. Yeah, that's sarcasm. But if you're leaving the game now, here's what you can do. Donate your items. Nothing is going to transfer to Project Slayers 2 anyway, so you might as well help out a kid who's still grinding like crazy in the old version. At least then your stuff won't completely go to waste. And here's one last piece of advice. Keep your expectations for the moderators and staff as low as possible. Trust me, it'll save you a lot of disappointment later. And about making clans or guilds, yeah, it sounds easy and yeah, you might make a few friends, but in reality, it gets toxic really fast. People ask for items, never return them, and even your closest friends end up looking out for themselves. So honestly, put the energy into making real friends in real life instead. You'll thank yourself later. And with that, we're wrapping things up. It's your KNULL signing off. If you've still got questions, ask in the official Project Slayers 2 server, because I'm not running a help desk here. But if you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. And hey, if you want to join my Discord server, the link is in the description and pinned comment. Go check it out. Peace.